Hi, my name is Tony Buti. I am Western Australia's Minister for Citizenship and Multicultural Interests. Guess what? Another episode of our Multicultural cooking series, and we've got the Greek cuisine on show today. Really excited. And to help me prepare this fantastic dish that we're going to go through today, I have Helen with me, Helen Anastasis. How are you, Helen?
Very well, thank you, and welcome, Minister, to our
Where are we?
We're at the Castellorizian house in Mount Hawthorn.
Right, it's beautiful. So this is a commercial kitchen, is it?
That's right. For catering for our hospitality and social functions, and of course our Cassie cooking classes,
Cassie
which
cooking
I coordinate. Can I introduce Rose Califf?
Hello.
Pam Anthony, Stacey Koroveski, who are part of a subcommittee for the Castellorizian Association of WA. There are 9 of us on the subcommittee, so 4 of them have volunteered for this afternoon to help me.
Well, thank you all for being here. So, Helen, what are we actually cooking today?
Well, this afternoon we're cooking a Spanakopita, which is a Greek spinach pie, one of our signature dishes.
What are the ingredients?
Now, we use silver beet here in Australia. We've got leeks, parsley, eggs, butter, feta cheese, always olive oil, virgin olive oil. And under this tea towel, you will see we have spread out our filo pastry ready to be used.
Okay, Helen, let's get the show underway. So what are we doing first?
The first thing we have to do, Tony, is to prepare the leek, which has to be fried. Right. I'll take this knife and show you on one that you just cut it down the middle, and to get very fine pieces, take it across the other way. Right. And if people don't want to use the leek, they can use an onion instead.
Onion, so cut it down the middle?
Down the middle. Now I'm going to pass this on to Stacey, who's going to fry it with the rest of the leeks. Tony, this spinach has been washed thoroughly, dried, drained, and the white stem doesn't go into the pie. Right. So we turn it over and we pull it. Oh. Very easy.
Tricks of the trade.
Or you can cut.
Cut it off.
Cut it off. And all we do now is take the silver beet, again with that very sharp knife,
cut up.
Very finely cut it.
How old were you when you learnt to cook this spinach pie?
Well, my mother used to cook it on a regular basis, and I would have been a teenager then. We all loved it, and she'd make a big tray. It was very popular with our family.
So Helen, is it a dish that you would do if you have a big family gathering?
Yes, definitely. The Spanakopita can be served as an appetizer. It can be served as a snack, as well as we find it's very popular if you put on a buffet, or what we say in Greek, a trapezi, which means basically putting food out for your guests that come visiting. And it's very similar to what the young ones now have as a grazing table. Now, this spinach has to be now added to the leek, so it just loses that little bit of stiffness. Now we're going to start putting the filo pastry on the base of the pan that we're going to use. Now you'll notice the filo pastry has been put between 2 tea towels so it doesn't dry out. Filo pastry is a great pastry, very thin, but it does dry out very quickly.
So this is the melted butter now?
Now the tray has been melted. And all you do, even if it breaks up, don't worry. If you like to brush it over, very small amount.
So Helen, can you give us a little bit of background about your family and your Greek heritage?
Yes. Well, I was born in Perth, WA. But my father came out, Con Manifest came out to Australia in 1924, Tony.
To WA?
To WA. They landed in Fremantle. He came with his parents. I'm just going to fold that over.
And where in Greece?
My father lived with his family in Asia Minor and in Myra, they called it. But because of the turmoil at the time, the Greeks had to leave the Myra, and the best place they found to migrate was to come to Australia for their family. My father was lucky to come over with his parents and 2 brothers and a sister. My husband was telling me his great-grandfather came to Australia in the 1890s.
Gee.
In Castellorizian, which is a beautiful island, you can see the coast of Turkey.
Wow. How many members of the association
Well,
or club?
We're over 600 members in WA. We're a very active association, the oldest association, Greek association in WA and Australia. In 1912, the association started. Now, we're going to put 10 layers down the bottom, Tony. I'm going to pass this on to Rose to finish off the base, and we'll do the filling.
Sounds good. All right, Helen, so here we've got the feta cheese.
Yes.
So what are we going to do?
We need to crumb it.
Oh, crumb it, okay.
And all you need to do is put a fork there and just use the back of the fork.
All right. Okay, Helen, we've got all the crumb feta here, so I assume we're going to put it in this big bowl with the spinach and leek.
That's right.
Okay.
Can I get you to mix it in?
You can indeed.
Thank you, Tony.
It's very colourful.
It is. And I'm now going to ask you to mix in a bit of parsley.
All right.
And the ingredient that binds it all together will be the eggs that have been beaten up.
So what's that we just put?
That was just pepper.
Oh, pepper.
Pepper added. Now this recipe comes from the book From Our Greek Kitchen to Yours.
Okay.
So
it's a great book. Yeah, I've looked at the recipes, you know.
yeah, we published it in 2016.
Yeah.
And we've sold almost 4,000 copies
how
all
good's that?
over Australia. Every recipe has a story
Yeah.
and some shared hints. So this recipe came from one of our members during one of our demonstrations.
Okay. But this is a dish that would be common throughout all parts of Greece.
That's right, very much so.
So now we're going to obviously put this with the filo pastry, eh?
That's right.
So how do we actually spread it on?
Well, normally spoon it in all over the base of the pie and then use a spatula to spread it out evenly.
So Helen, as we mentioned, this is Cassie House. Give us a bit of a history of it and how long it's been here and what's it used for?
Well, the Castellorizian Association bought this house in 1981 through a lot of fundraising with members and the committee. The association was first started to give support to people that first migrated here to Australia for their social needs and their cultural needs and for their religious needs.
So you hold classes here, cooking classes?
Yes. I started the classes in 2011. I just retired as a home economics teacher, over 30 years of teaching.
Wow, gee.
And I decided I wanted to give back to the community. So we started with adult classes. We used to get almost 45 people coming, and we had practical classes. We used the hall to form stations, 8 stations, and then we used the kitchen to cook everything. But then it was after COVID, we realised there was a need for the youth for cooking classes, so we have cooking classes now for 18 plus and friends.
Lovely.
And also I extended it, because I coordinate the classes, I extended it to school holiday classes.
Okay, Helen, I assume we're going to put the filo pastry now on top of the mixture.
That's
So
right,
we've got a
Tony.
pie. So Helen, we're talking about the kitchen here, and use it for cooking classes and for celebration. Tell me a bit about the renovations.
Well, the renovations, the funds for the renovations came from the profits of our book. From there, a group, we all have a lot of subcommittees under the Castellorizian Association. We got together and we worked out a plan that would work for the cooking classes plus catering in. Then we went on and we priced equipment that we wanted to replace. The grant from OMI was to extend or build the community room.
Oh, right, okay.
Plus completely replace the roof on the Castellorizian house. Solar panelling.
Great.
And that was our big grant, the first one we got. And last year we were lucky enough to get another grant. And we have now better security for the Castellorizian house, plus we have balustrading out the front. We must thank OMI for their contribution, but we look at it very carefully before we apply for a grant, because we know there are other groups that are also needy of money.
It's very good, and you put it to good use. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Now we put some more egg on top, do you? Oh, that's butter.
Butter.
So how many sheets are we going to put on top?
10 again.
10? God, so we've got 10 underneath.
10 on top.
10 on top.
Yeah.
So Helen, you're cutting it up before we put it in the oven. Why do you cut it for?
We only cut through, Tony, the top 3 layers of the filo pastry if possible. Right. We can then cut it a lot easier once it's cooked. Okay. Now you'll notice I've got a bowl of water. Yeah. I sprinkle. The reason being is that we don't want the filo pastry to curl in the oven once it's cooking. Right. And that's the end product.
Right. So we'll go in the oven now. At what temperature and for how long?
160 and for 45 minutes.
So Helen, this is the final product of our labour. It looks absolutely fantastic. So this is Greek salad, obviously.
That's right.
And we have here the beautiful spinach pie. So shall we give it a go?
Definitely. All right. And enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Now, so Helen, this beautiful painting behind me, what is it?
That is a painting that was done years ago of what Kastellorizian looked like to a young girl who lived in Perth, and it's blossomed since then.
Now Helen, thank you.
You're welcome.
For inviting me here, and I think we should say cheers, and got to say, that is divine. It's beautiful, so thank you very much, Helen. Thank you.
Kastellorizian, Tony. Thank you.
Now Helen, that meal was just amazing. Absolutely love it. Can I take some with me as well?
Of course you can.
Beautiful. Now, where are we?
We're in the community room, named after one of our past members who unfortunately passed away a few years back. Nick Nicholas's community room, we've named it. And we've got a lot of artefacts in the room, displayed in the units. And this here is the traditional Castellorizian outfit that a lot of the women used to wear on the island, and it's been donated to the Castellorizian Association to be used as a display.
Beautiful. Well, Helen, it's been an absolute joy, so thank you everyone for allowing us to come here today. Look, I hope everyone's enjoyed this show today. It's been absolutely brilliant. Helen, you're an absolute natural, great chef, great teacher. And people, hope you've enjoyed it. It's great to share food, hear about stories from Greece and how important food is to the culture. That's been one of the strong points for this series. So folks, if you want to look at more shows on the series, the Multicultural Cooking series, go to the OMI website. Thank you once again, and hope you have a great day.
Best wishes, Tony.
Best wishes. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.